Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Trading Brains podcast. Angela and I are here again. Um, this episode, we're going to talk about soccer again, just like we talked about in our first round of episodes. Um, just a minor correction. This episode is actually episode 11. The previous episode was episode 10. We had thought that we made 10 episodes for the first season, but it is what
Yes,
it is. It is what it is.
I got
Um,
excited.
Yeah,
But
and Angela has some news and stuff to talk about with soccer. Granted, by the time this episode gets released, it may be a little bit outdated, but
um,
maybe you could have some insights on
yeah, it's
this.
still the fact that like what's going on from current and when we did air it is a little bit dated, but it's just the presence of like how soccer is connected in my life.
Mhm.
Right now, as you could tell, I'm wearing my calcio shirt. That means soccer in Italian. And actually, it's a podcast. There's three of them, but it's mostly like couple. It's two people who actually run everything, and then they have a couple more people as Italian football TV. Is I IFTV, and they just cover the whole Italian soccer, like Serie A, Serie B, and all that, and the transfer window, the league, the players, stats, and I listen to them a lot, and I really do enjoy them. And that's why I do want to talk about soccer because one, I always had a passion for it, and two, I do want to talk about it. What's going on right now in the soccer world with my three teams that I do currently follow, and other stuff. Like right now in the International Champions Cup, there, I think the game just ended. If I'm correct, Atletico Madrid. Yeah, it did ended. Oh, actually changed a couple of scores, but the game ended at 7-3. Atletico beating Real Madrid 7-3, and that's like in soccer doesn't happen a lot, but still it was a friendly, and there's a nice. I think it was at MetLife Stadium, and it was nice because that's 10 goals. That doesn't happen often, especially with two top teams. Everyone's been playing. They made a lot of subs, and it's a preseason for them. So but that's really cool to watch that game. If I was there actually watching the game, that would be really cool to watch that 10 goals thriller. Um, but going back to actually what's going on right now, um, well, instead of having the International Champion Cup in the United States, Asia, and England, um, like Milan's here playing. Like I'm a AC Milan fan, a huge one, as well as a Palermo fan and a New York FC fan.
Mhm.
Um, what's it called? But like right now, it's like for AC Milan and Palermo, it's their preseason like transfer windows open. Um, Kind of like
Transfer.
Palermo bad news, huh? Transfer windows basically when they start selling or buying new people.
Okay.
To basically get their team either they would like basically their objective is to make their team
Ready
stronger
for
than last
the
year.
season. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Great.
get them in shape, and that's like the whole preseason right now. Like AC Milan came in fifth, so their goal is trying to get back into Champions League for next year. So right now they're trying to like sacrifice some players or buy some players or sell some players, wherever the case may be. Paolo Maldini, Ivan Gladius, or I cannot pronounce his name, but he came from Arsenal. He's like the CEO.
All these names. Damn.
Yeah, there's so many big, and like Paolo Scoroni, he's the chairman as right now. From and he's from Elliott, like the main people who owns AC Milan at the right now. So they're all trying to figure out financial fair play, so they don't want to go over, which is like it's basically an act on big teams that they can't just buy so many people
Right. Right.
because like small teams can't do that. Like if you have the
Yeah, they
money,
don't
you
have
buy.
the budget for that. Yeah.
So they're trying to kind of like cap people out.
Yeah.
So,
And
um,
all of this can be followed on LFTV. What?
well, yeah, they do cover a lot of Italian teams, and they do cover about Milan being excluded from like the European season because there's Champions League and the Europa League. But they didn't want to be They didn't want to be balanced the book for 1 year, so now they have 3 years of grace period in order to balance books. So they're trying to make the push now to Champions League before they get dissected under the microscope again.
Right.
So right now they're trying to make some buys, and they made some buys. They made one. I do like this one player from Real Madrid, Tio Hernandez. He's a left back for 20 million euros. And that was a good buy. He's very fast, very quick. In the last 2 preseason games before he sprained his ankle, he impacted by scoring goals, coming back, development plays, very quick with the ball and out the ball. Like made really, he contributed both in attack and both defense, which we both need. Because last year
Scoring
he
goals
scored a
as a
goal.
left back.
Yes, anyone can score a goal.
Okay.
But as a left back scoring a goal is still great. It's just he's contributing in the attack as much as he's defending his net. And then we got a couple of players from Empoli that went down to City, which is the second tier, and legitimate. Like those 2 players are because we got rid of a couple of people, and we got rid of Montelivo, Bertolacci, which I like Montolivo. He was old, but I didn't like him to be on the team still, just because he's 34. That's getting old. But what's it called? But we got rid of Bertolacci, which that was a big bust. We spent 25 million for him, and he just basically ride the bench the whole time. And then Juan, just the coach didn't like him.
Wow.
Coach thought he was fit or playing not fit, just well to be on the starting lineup. Right. He didn't play good in practice, and Jose Mauri was young and short, and he was good at some games, but not correct impact. He wasn't an impact. We need impact. We need where Milan used to be like one of the best teams in the world. Now we're trying to fight for 5th place, 6th place for the last X amount of years. Like I think now it's come close to 10 years without Champions League, and that just
years.
And yeah, I think
I'm
the
sure
last.
You're upset about that because I know you love.
Yeah, it's basically now my whole thing was I like crying.
I like crying.
So
it's like being a masochist, you know. I mean, there are always people who talk about like, yeah, I'm this.
It's like being a Mets
fan. Unfortunately, you know, or like you're just like sad about it.
Yeah. But like now, like right now, like a lot of people came back from loan. A lot of youth players are actually trying to be playing. They're trying to make their names. Like Mattia Gabi, he's a center back. He's 19 years old. Or I think 20. He's 19 actually. He turned 20 in October. But he plays for the under 20 World Cup for Italy, and he made an impact for them. So I think Milan trying to give him a chance now to make an impact. He played really well against Bayern, so I think he's going to try to partner up with Romagnoli, our starting center back, with him, and he's our captain. I think that's going to be a fantastic pick just for us, since it's a youth player, so we didn't have to buy him. We trained him. He came from the youth academy. And also we have Kadar is going to be there, but he's a bit injury prone. And also Mustachio, which I do like at times, but he's very inconsistent. But I think if with the right coach, the right style, I think he could have a better season than last year. And that's the whole point of what we have. But one thing I'm really upset that I just found out that Patrick Cutrone just left the training camp in Boston. They actually are training right now in Harvard University, and we had the youth player. He's 21, and apparently he left the training camps. And I don't know if he's going to be leaving, which a lot of people are saying, like a lot of sources are saying that he might be going to Wolves in the Premier League for about, I think, 20 million euros plus bonuses. So I think that's undervalued, and I still don't think we should have sold him if they do sold him. If they actually do decide to sell him, I don't want that to happen. Milan selling Patrick Cutrone to Wolves. If that's right now, that's the speculation.
Cutrone was in Milan's youth program.
Yes, and play like actually in Serie A So far, he had played for 77 games. He scored 27, and he's only 21 years old.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah,
Well, I had some
2
questions
years
about like
basically.
so like if a player goes through a youth program, right, and then they go on a contract to play for a team, can they eventually just go to a different team if they want?
Yeah,
Like,
so like
is there
you
like
get
is there
it's
like
like a
that
free
whole like, oh,
transfer.
this team raised me, so like I'll stay, and then like they're loyal
So
or
like
whatever. But
some team, like there's always like you always want a players to stay on one team for their whole entire life. Like Maldini was like that, and also his father. Um, and then you have like Lionel Messi, like was brought like Barcelona bought him when he was 10. He went through the Barcelona academy. He's still at Barcelona.
right,
People do want that if they're that good,
right,
but there, I think what Milan is trying to do, it's like I don't think it's a good sacrifice because I would rather keep him, but I think they're trying to sacrifice him because they want to get other players and they cost some money. But yeah,
okay,
they cost about like 40 or 50 million.
right.
So if you sell one, you have to sacrifice one to get another one. So they think that's the trade to go.
I think that's the right
Um,
choice. Yeah, the right
but
decision.
I think that happens. A lot of people will be upset about it just because he's our future.
Right.
He's from the youth system. He knows how it is. He put his heart and soul. Like I watched him. I love him every time. I cheer like on him and legitimate. That's what it is. It's just I
I had
really hope
another
that
question.
yeah.
Sorry, about something else you brought up. About like somebody in the back being team captain. Does team captain, like, is that typically a specific position player, or can
No,
it
keep
be
captain is
any
just like
position?
that leader.
Okay.
Is having that captain armband, basically commanding the back line if they're a defender or the whole team. Kind of like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We have to like, let's just say halftime is over, or let's just say there's a free kick. Like he just tells like the guy who's taking the free kick, it's like, hey, you got this. Let's go. Let's do this. Kind of like being an inspiration to all the other players, like pump them up.
Hmm.
Um, but with the project that Would Milan want to do, I do like it. It's just I am not too keen on getting rid of Cutrone just because I do like him. He does give the Milan's legends like reminisce of Filippo Inzaghi or Super People as his nickname. And like I do like that was so great of having that. That's just like you recollect like the early 2000s when you have Inzaghi scoring all these goals and he had that kind of style esque of it going behind the defenders and scoring goals in the box and being a threat and actually creating chances without and giving 110%. Um, and that's like basically like that main part of it. That's why I really do enjoy watching him, and I really hope he doesn't leave, but I think he is because a lot of people say like a lot of journalists and like reporters are saying that he left training camp. He basically left New Boston to go to Europe. So
And he hasn't made any statements on it.
not yet. No, that's right now. I think probably tomorrow morning I'll find out. Yeah, he was taken out of Milan's from. Right now I'm looking at Football Italia, and it says that he is taken out at Milan training camp. Um, yeah, I really hope like not really hope, but it could be that he left because of injury. But they could have said that, but we don't know yet.
Right.
Because earlier, like a couple of weeks ago, he was unconvinced by the Wolves, the team they're called Wolves, like Wolverhampton.
Okay.
He was unconvinced on their project. He wasn't like he didn't want to go. So
Right.
I'm really hoping that's the case. But as of right now, that's what it is. Um, but right now they're in the middle of this preseason and they played Bayern. They lost 1-0 by just a relapse in the defense, which is fine. And it was like the legitimate first game against a big team. Bayern Monaco is a big team. They had people like Lewandowski, Mueller, Lam, he retired, but Kimmich, like the big names in Germany and also in Poland, whatever the case may be, is a big team. But losing 1-0 in a preseason, getting ready, I think they'll have a better year. And I think, and then tomorrow they're versus Benfica in Foxborough in Gillette Stadium. So that's gonna be a good game to watch. Hopefully, we bounce back from that loss and see some good things. But another sad news for my teams. My hometown team, Palermo, just got demoted from Serie B to Serie D because of bankruptcy. And this does happen a lot in Italian soccer, but it just sucks that when it's your team, like I've seen like past like 5 years, like a couple big name teams that used to be like in the top tier bankrupt and they go to the fourth tier because of money. And then the previous president, because he wanted to sell, he wanted to get it off because he was not making any money. He only thought about money, not about the team.
Right.
So he's actually banned for 5 years, and thank God, because he just did not care. We had any team that we had that from Zaccardo, Mauri, Amauri, Cavani, Dybala, and like these names like Cavani and Dybala, if anyone knows who watch soccer, PSG and Juventus respectively, like top players. They play for their national team. They score so many goals. They contribute to make an impact for their team. But they all made a name in Serie A in Palermo when they were in Serie A, making their name in the beginning when they were in very young.
Right. And now Palermo is not Serie A, and people aren't getting the
They're in the
players
top
aren't getting
now.
it.
Instead of being professional, they're in the top tier in amateur status.
Okay. Right.
And like now they just got like the new president called Dario Mirti got them from like kind of like from bankruptcy. Now there's like, hey, this is our plan is to get them back in Serie A in 3 years, and that can happen because there's a lot of team like Parma that did that. Body's trying to do that, so it can happen. It's just a lot of um, people. They just have to be smart with their transfers and all that stuff, and seeing people want to stay if they can afford them still. So a lot of people are leaving because it's the money issue now. So they're in amateur status, so that they're not getting paid as what they would have if they stayed in Serie B or Serie A. So now people are leaving for loans, or they're going on loans, or they're leaving for good. So we'll see. I want to see with that right now. Since they're Serie D, it's kind of hard. I have to go look more news on them, but I'm going to try to figure them. I'm going to find out a way to follow them as well from a site or two, or legitimate from Italian football TV. Hopefully, they get some coverage on them as well, and then hopefully I can ask them to see what they have. But yeah, no, it's just I don't know. Just those two teams actually just be like kind of like, what the hell is going on with them?
Past what, decade maybe, or past couple
Oh,
years?
yeah, Milan with not being in the Champions League and then Palermo being down now as the Serie D is just kind of sad. But besides that, it's just like I don't know. It's just whatever the case may be. It is what it is. Now you're just in the long
There's
haul.
always high points and low points.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
You always pick up from.
You learn from your mistakes. So hopefully they learn from their mistakes, and hopefully Couture doesn't leave. So I'm really hoping that's the case. I'd be very sad if he left because.
Has your brother had anything to comment on all of this?
Besides saying Milan sucks, but
yeah, because he's Juventus, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. But yeah. But no, like now,
he's
like
of course, this is gonna happen because they're a terrible team.
He's on his
high horse.
He's on his high horse because Juventus is like one of the top. It is the top team in Serie A, but also one of the top teams in Europe. They're planning to push for Champions League because they have Cristiano Ronaldo last year, but also still this year. But hopefully they could push. And with the new coach that they got with Mauricio Sarri that came from Chelsea, and I do like his style, very precise with their attacking style of football. Hopefully they can win the Champions League. I want them to win because they are an Italian team, so I do want to.
When you say precise attacking, is that like making sure
you're
finding holes in defense and then
they're very like direct with their attack. It's just like balls passing to the feet. It's very high press, high line defense. Like basically like you're attacking. Yeah, They want to control the game, but when they want to control their team, it's all the way up, and it's the whole team pressing.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Because like
basically,
I don't know what an imprecise attack would look like brute force.
no, it's just basically they train using the same tactic all the time.
Okay. Okay.
So like they try to make perfect. So like they basically tried this like that one play over and over again. So like it's come a second nature.
Right.
And
Yeah. Like they don't even have to think about play or
that's
say
how
let's
they
do
like
this
to
play.
play.
It's just like boom.
Yeah. Yeah, if this is a pattern when they start passing, it's like, oh, I know what I'm going to do now
Right.
because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have second nature.
I've seen
You
this
just,
before. Yeah.
yes. And right now, so they're doing well, but there's preseason. They're making some good buys as well, but I don't want to talk about them that much. But that's fine because
You don't have to. I mean,
no, it's not even that. It's just more in the fact that it's like Juventus is Juventus. They buy who they can just like I said,
they
like
just
they just
got they
bought
just throw
someone.
money.
They
Yeah.
just bought they
Well, I mean,
but they
hey, you don't know.
yeah,
They might go bankrupt. You know, they buy too many.
I highly doubt
players.
that, but that happens. That'd be a laughing stock and laugh at my brother all day long. Oh, not all day long, all week, all month, all year, whatever the
Oh
case may
yeah.
be. Um, but like no, like they just bought a defender, like a 19-year-old defender for like 75 million euros. Like,
That's a lot of
well,
pressure.
yeah, and for that guy too. But like that guy is worth it. Like that guy's like gonna be something new. Mateus Delit, and I think he's gonna be really strong in the defense. Plus, they have Chiellini to teach him like the reign of it. Buffon came back for a second for
What?
basically, yeah, he went to PSG for a year because he wanted to win Champions League. So he thought that was the case, and they want to push him to now. He wants to come back. I think that he wants to break the Serie A record, and the Serie A record is currently held by Paolo Maldini, like the best center defender in Serie A and Italy as well. But I think it's like I think if I'm correct, there's like 7 or 8 games difference between the two, and it's like over like six. I think it's like 647 that Paolo Maldini has. I think if I'm correct.
7 games. Oh, so he just wants to have total number.
Yeah, he want to beat. Yeah, he want to beat the most appearance in Serie A.
Okay.
But I do want to go overseas now and come back where I'm from in New York City FC. And I do really enjoy them since there's like they're a couple years into it. Now first year without David Villa, and we did talk about from last season, how well they were doing well. They're not losing. They did had a little funk of losing 2 games in a row with Timbers, Red Bulls, and actually 3 games. Actually, sorry. And also in the U.S. Open Cup with Orlando City. So like being the 3 game bump, and they just beat Colorado last week, and also this like today they actually just beat Kansas City 3-1. And basically all the new people who are playing, they are doing great at what they have been doing. Heber, Ring, Macklin. So hold on, actually. Yeah. So I don't know what was I talking about. He's
New York FC, and
yeah,
you're talking about how they lost like 2 games in a row
3
fighting
games.
against Red
Yeah.
Bulls. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, one was Portland Timbers, Orlando City in the U.S. Open Cup, and also Red Bulls. So, but now they're coming back, and they also won against the Rapids and as well as Kansas City, and that was tonight. With the new players that they got, Heber scoring. Yeah. And Heber scored his goals. He scored today with the ring, and as well as I forgot his name. Heber, ring, and Tinnerholm, his first goal of the season. He's a right back, and he actually really well. But I do like they had the Scottish guy on free transfer, Gary McKay Steven, and since he came on, he helped out. He made an assist to Ring to get his goal, the third goal in the game. So he's kind of getting used to the American soccer style and how Dominic Torrent wants to play, and so far so good. I'm liking how the style there. I think fifth in the Eastern Conference, and yeah, fifth in the Eastern Conference. I think they just made a push from the win today to fourth, and actually third too. Yeah, third. Wow, because it's not updated from the standard that I have right now. But so like as it stands, they'll go to the conference quarterfinals, and as well they will go into the 2020 League Cup. And this is actually fairly new. They started this year actually, this month actually and it's basically the two teams from two leagues, one from MLS in America and the Mexican League, and they have four teams in each one that hasn't competed in the CONCACAF Champions League that they have, and how they want to envision it, basically to get more games and more competition between. They want to build the American soccer teams would be as competitive with the Mexicans.
Well, there's just so many. There's just so many people in the U.S. that I know that are just like soccer. Ew. Like they just
Yeah, but like also like there's so many better, like not better sports. It's more watched in America, like baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and
basketball
also
got huge. I mean, when I was younger, I feel like basketball wasn't all that large.
it was so huge. It depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, a lot of people did play. Still, it just all depends on what it is. Playing the sport. Like a lot of people did played it, but also like we didn't watch it. We didn't have anyone who now I know all my coworkers talk about basketball, baseball, football, those three, and then it's hockey. Then it's soccer, and then soccer because I'll bring it up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Of
course, we'll bring it up.
Of course, I have to. um, but like when you have Mexico, like you have it's basically soccer, and then baseball, and then whatever. Like you go everywhere else, it's basically either soccer or maybe another sport. Like if you go to England, like it does max with like soccer, rugby, cricket, whatever those, or India would be cricket. Like
right. Yeah. Yeah. True. Such a weird sport. But hey.
But like in Japan, it's soccer and baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like going back, it's just so now hopefully like if let's just say New York FC doesn't make it into the CONCACAF, they could probably make it into the League Cup, and they versus other Mexican teams like Tigres or Club America, some of those big name teams in the Mexican League that didn't make it into the CONCACAF Champions League. So I think that's going to be a big publicity, like big, well, not just like marketing and just marketing soccer throughout the whole US, like the North American region, but also like just the quality of soccer will get better because people are playing more.
Yeah, well, there are more players. Yeah, more games.
More games.
Played, more people.
Yeah, playing at that high level. So I think it's gonna be a big push for that. Hopefully this stays for a long time. But yeah, that's what I really want. But out of those three, it's just like there's some high points, there's low points in soccer. It all depends. Like the transfer window is long. Like in Italy, it's I think until like the end of August or like the 21st in that week, and something around that week they have. So we still have like a legitimate
still
month.
Like some time, yeah.
Yeah, so Milan can make some good buys or not sell certain players, or like if they sold like because like.
You're really hoping they don't sell that guy.
Yep, I don't
20
want
million?
him. Yeah, only 20. It's very undervalued. They value him at 35, but I think they're like, we'll make since he came from the youth academy, we're making a profit if we sell him for €1. Because like I'm just saying, like in the sense like we never had to buy him. We never had to buy him from somewhere else. So if we sell,
okay.
It's just a gain.
Right, it's just a game. Yeah. Yeah.
besides actually putting like time into it and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
timing coaches, but I'm just basically saying like you sell him for $5 million, you made a profit because you never bought him.
Right. Right.
So it'll be a $5 million profit.
That's kind of dumb though, because like if you were to put another player that's super awesome in the youth program, then like that
No,
investment of time and effort is worth how much you would have sold that other player for. You know, it's like,
of course.
yeah, I think that it's just not thinking straight.
Yes, but they have to sacrifice someone, and you might have to undervalue him, so he gets rid of it. So be it. It happens. I get it, but kind of don't want that to happen.
Right.
But another thing is that like hopefully, they realize what they're doing. That they don't have to do that, but we shall see. But but yeah, no, I just don't know what like the next people like they do want to get someone from Atletico Madrid who had played Andre Carrera. He did score against Real Madrid, so
You're
but
talking
like they
about
want
who to get?
AC Milan, yeah.
Okay.
Some like rumors that's going on, but like Milan wants him for 40 million for plus bonuses, but Atletico's like, we'll sell you for 50, and we're not budgeting. So they're trying to agree on a price.
Okay.
And then now I think they just trying to sign this young striker from Lille. He's like 21, but he's worth 35. And basically, if you do sell Cotrone, that guy's gonna be a replacement. But like the guy never played in City. Like we don't know. It's gonna be a gamble on if he's gonna play well in the league. The league is different. So, but they might have to sell some youth players to gain some money, and then go from there. So it's big. It's what it is. It's the big investment, and the big gamble on is risk that people need to take. That the coach will say, "Hey, I want X, Y, Z. Okay, we could get you X, Y. Maybe Z is going to be hard. If we do want to get Z because of the price range, what players that you don't think that will fit in your system?" And
What do you think
basically, the coach basically had to make an assessment in a couple of weeks, which he is a new coach, Marco Giampaolo. He came from a smaller team, Sampdoria, and I do like his style of play because now it's Milan have been playing a 4-3-3, and Milan never had wingers in the past time in the before 2007.
4 is the offensive line.
Forward,
Attackers.
yeah,
Forward?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, wingers, attackers, yes. But like now we're playing as a 4, which so we have 4 defenders, 3 center mids, 1 center attacking mid, so they sit above the midfielders, and then also they do sit right behind the forwards, and they play, and then we're playing with 2 strikers or 2 forwards, and that's how we normally did play when we were really good. So I do want to see that if that actually does pan out. But some people, we have some wingers that we might have to sacrifice if they can't play on the style of what the coach plays. So we have some time to see how they're going to play. And now it's just a big wait. But yeah, that's as much as I want to talk about. I do want to just take home on how like the trade. When I saw that, I did want to talk about that, about Cotrone's deal, and also how Milan is doing in the preseason, and the upsetting news about Palermo, and then the form that the New York FC is actually coming strong, being third in their conference and pulling on strong with some buys that they got this summer and like in the winter time, that they're actually making a strong push for the title hunt in MLS. So, yeah, that's enough what I have to say right now.
That's current news.
Yeah,
News
current
out
news
there.
that we have to say.
At least for the teams that you follow, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's plenty
I watch other
of
stuff
teams.
like too, but those are the 3 teams I do care about the most. But with me, that's what I care about the most about that. But yeah, no, it's pretty much set and so on. But no, next week, it's gonna be a fun talk about what we're going to talk about.
What we're gonna talk about next week? I actually kind of forgot. What do we have?
I think I got it. Just give me 2 seconds. I think I got it.
On
I think it's music.
music. Okay.
Music. Yep.
Right, so music, another revisited subject. That's all right.
Yep.
Bring up
And then
about that.
so, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, thank you for listening. I hope that when you do hear this, this probably will be changed already, but still, I do want to just talk about it and hopefully either revisit later on, and as well as current updates, as well as what we're gonna do. But no, like just I'm pretty much happy what's going on right now. I just don't want that deal to happen. But I think next time we do talk about it, talk about something else.
Well,
A little bit more exciting.
by the time this podcast episode releases to the public, then that deal will either have gone through or it won't have
Yeah.
even existed.
Exactly. But yeah, but next week we'll talk about music.
Yes.
And yeah, just let us know about other deals, what you feel about, as well as how well that I did about this topic, or what I should talk about more, or anything like that. But
Yeah.
just let us know. Give us a like, subscribe us, Trading
Yeah.
Brains podcast, or just give us a shout out or talk or give us a question, whatever it is. But yeah, let's stay tuned for next week about music. It's been we're gonna revisit it again as well. So
Yeah. Thank you for the close, Angelo, and goodbye, everybody. See you next
bye
week.
bye guys.